Are they laughing at all with me? Oh baby, those are such great shoes. And I think that I'm so happy now.
Nothing like some Jack Johnson to start your morning off.
He's the man.
Hi, my name is Ron Morris. Today is November the 30th. This is Moving Forward TV, your weekly update in the real estate and mortgage industry.
And I am Delynn Gaston, and wow, tomorrow is December 1st. Can you believe that? I know, this year has just zoomed by unbelievably
Does that mean
fast.
time flies when we're having fun?
Yes, actually. You know what? It does. Because, you know, although this year has presented a lot of challenges,
That it has.
just like the last couple of years have, but you know what? This year, I feel excited. I feel a positive energy going this year. It's just been, everything is going great, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
She makes me want to puke. But before we get started on the show,
Before we puke.
we're going to go ahead and do the comic of the week. So take 5 seconds, that's all it is. Here it is.
Social networking to a new level. Those of us with teenagers.
Guilty as charged. Let's get on to this week's show.
Yes.
Last week we talked about different programs that were out there, specifically the reverse mortgage for the
Yes.
seniors. And just as a reminder, we really got into that to a pretty good degree last week.
Right.
If you go in the archives, you can check that out.
If you missed it, you need to watch
Absolutely. Any buyers that are over 62, by all means, please check that out because it's a great tool to be used for the realtors and the buyers out there. This week, we're going to talk about one of our favorite parts, which is working with first-time home buyers.
We love first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers are so rewarding to work with, but they do have some challenges that we face with them as well. Some of the instant things that come to mind right away is they usually have limited savings accounts.
FHA.
They usually have limited credit histories.
FHA.
And they usually have limited rental
FHA.
histories. Why? Tell me why
FHA is the best product, one of the best products, if not the best product out there
Yes.
for first-time home buyers. Why, do you ask? Number one, down payment is only 3.5%, and that can be from
Mom and dad gift.
From a relative, absolutely. So
Absolutely.
the down payment is low, and it can be from a relative. Number two, FHA allows the seller to pick up to 6% seller, call it seller concessions. Basically, the seller can pay up to
Closing
6% of the closing costs.
And closing costs are high. We all know that.
Absolutely. Fannie Mae only allows 3%. FHA, we've been hearing rumors for quite some time,
Right.
actually. FHA probably will lower it to 3%.
Yes.
Today, it's still 6%, so another great reason to use FHA. The third is alternative credit.
Right.
A lot of first-time buyers have limited credit or no credit at all, and FHA will allow mortgage professionals like Delynn and I to do what we call alternative credit. What's some alternative credit?
Basically, we build a credit report for them
Right.
via 12 months canceled checks of an insurance,
Paper
car
trail.
insurance, right? Car insurance, cell phone bills, utility bills, things like that. We will get 12 months canceled checks proving that they have these other things. We have to build a credit report
Right,
for them.
right.
When we do that, it's very important. A lot of times, you guys are parents out there too. A lot of times, the parents will write the check. The kid gives mom and dad the money, and mom and dad write the check to the insurance company. If you're doing that, stop. Don't
No.
do that anymore. And if your buyers are doing that, tell them to stop. They have to write out their own check, preferably not a joint checking account with mom
Right.
and dad as well, because we want to prove to the underwriter that they have the ability of paying bills on their own without mom and dad's assistance.
And let's talk specifically about rent history. Delynn and I work with numerous lenders out there. I would estimate probably 80–90% of them, maybe even more. If you do not have a documented paper trail rental history, they're not going to talk to us.
Right.
Period. End of story. Unless they have a very lengthy credit report,
Right.
which a lot of first-time home buyers don't.
Right.
So we really need the buyer to have a documented paper trail. If they're living with mom and dad, which a lot of them are, write the check out to mom and dad with a check, and we need 12 months.
Right.
You have to have 12 months canceled checks in order to document that rental history. I can't stress that enough.
And rent versus own. Speaking of renting, let's talk about rent versus owning.
We put a couple numbers together just as an example to the buyers out there. I'm using a $100,000 sell price, going FHA. Now, the only thing we're really estimating are taxes and insurance, but I think we're relatively close based on values
Been doing
and so
this long
forth.
enough.
Absolutely. At $100,000, your mortgage payment taxes, insurance, the whole 9 yards is around $830 a month.
Probably less than a lot of people are paying for rent right now.
And let's take a $75,000 sale price. There are properties out there for that as well.
Sure.
And I believe it came up to $650 a month. Again, estimating taxes and insurance.
Way less than what rentals are going for right now.
Absolutely.
So it's a great time to buy a house, and people need to understand that they can really, besides the tax advantages and
Right,
things like
right.
that, it's really wonderful for them.
For the realtors out there and the buyers, please make sure you're having the first-time buyers talk with the mortgage professional before they start looking for a home. There are ways that Dylan and I and mortgage professionals out there can direct them specifically in reference to credit.
Right.
And we need to let them know what they're up against as far as money out of pocket. Is mom and dad helping them with the down payment? Is the seller going to pay some closing costs? Obviously, the realtor is your advocate in that area as far as negotiating and getting the seller to help pay for some of those closing costs as well.
And it's important how to document those things, as we mentioned. So that's why it's real important to talk to a mortgage person first.
And I wanted to talk about actually a client of mine that I, myself and a local realtor, we tried to do a loan for him right at a year ago, first-time home buyer. Again, living with dad, living with dad, has a good job, has money for a down payment, but he had one trade line on his credit report. Great score, but one trade line. No rental history at all. And basically, the long and short of it is we were not able to get him done. He's back with us right now, a year later, and I had told him, start making payments to your dad, a copy of a check, and a couple other things as far as alternative credit was concerned. I think he's doing car insurance. He had done his cell phone. Anyway, we built him up. He's one of the few, as I'm sure you can relate to, that when we give him some direction, that he actually listened to us and followed through. Right. He's back now. Actually, he'll be making an offer this week. I don't see any reason in the world why we won't be able to put him in a home now.
Perfectly financeable now. That's
Absolutely.
Somebody who listened to
Right.
exactly what we told him to do, and now he's ready to go. He's ready to be
Yep.
a homeowner. So
Yep.
that's great.
Great story.
Yeah. We get a lot of questions all the time, every day, about mortgage interest rates, which way they're going, up, down, that kind of thing. So next week, we have our crystal ball. We are going to be taking an in-depth look at mortgage rates, which way they're going, and what drives the mortgage rate. So that's going to be a show that you're not going to want to miss.
Please check that out. In the meantime, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Please forward the show to anybody that you feel would benefit from it. Buyers, sellers, neighbors,
Everyone.
realtors,
Everyone you
dentists.
can think of, plumbers, everybody.
Anybody.
Everyone who can benefit from this show, and anyone who lives in anything more than a cardboard box, I think, can benefit from this show. So
And
please forward it on.
And I believe you want to move on to the movie challenge.
Movie challenge. If you'd like to win 2 free movie tickets, email us with the title to this movie.
And what do we got on this thing? A Cuisinart?
My favorite movie of all time. I love that movie.
I like that movie a lot too. On that note, please visit our sponsors. There's a banner.
They're here.
They're over there.
They're
There's
here.
banners
Look at
over
it.
there, so by all means, please check them out as well.
And our website is www.easymortgageanswers.com, because they are easy answers to your mortgage questions.
And on that note, we are.
Moving forward.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Time